He is a god of the game.
All roads lead to Rome. Southgate's men were outcoached and outclassed by Mancini's men in the finals of Euro 2020. Messi wasn't a great player till Sunday morning 5:30 am but became the greatest ever in the space of 2 hours after lifting the first international trophy for Argentina in 28 years. Will Djokovic achieve the unthinkable golden slam in men's tennis? Can Indian women continue their impressive fielding and win the T20 series against England? Also, for the first time, we have an NBA update. Let's go!
Absolutely world class.
It's over, guys. 1 month of enthralling international football has finally come to a fitting end at Wembley, with Italy winning the big prize. But today's episode is not just about that. Messi has finally won an international trophy with Argentina at the senior level. And outside football, we have Novak Djokovic equaling the record of 20 Grand Slams. And we also have some cricket to cover today. So to do it all, please help me welcome Ishan.
Bellissimo! Champions of Europe. I'm so happy England didn't win. But hello and welcome, guys, to Sports Charchas. Such a happy episode this is going to be. Let's do it.
Great. I mean, as you rightly started it off, well, there is only one place to start this episode, and that is at Wembley. After 120 minutes of really grueling, yet a fairly high-tempo game, Italy defeated England 3-2 on penalties that had so much drama. Well, not the best finals I have seen in terms of attacking play, but definitely not the best penalty shootout also, but the game wasn't boring.
I agree. I think, it almost swayed like a pendulum. If you saw the first half, England dominated play. It felt like, the Italian midfield that was so dominant throughout the tournament was suddenly showing some cracks. Jorginho not so influential. You saw, Immobile, I don't even remember him having the ball. And it felt like England, when they scored early, by the way, a great goal by Shaw, great finish, scored very early. And I thought this might, there are a lot of voodoos England have broken this Euros. Could this be? And then when the second half happened, it almost felt like an inevitability that Italy would score. And the funny thing was the Wembley crowd knew it. Like, they also, if you see, there was a lull throughout from minute 45 to 90, there was a lull where almost they knew what was going to happen. They were just hoping England could hold on. But it had to be one of the stalwarts, the fossil fuels of Italy. Bonucci came up clutch, scored, meaning a bit of a scrappy goal. But they equalized, and then I felt mentally Italy was always going to come up tops. I hoped it wouldn't go down to penalties because I know, and we've seen it unfortunately on social media, how a loss is construed very badly by fans, loyal fans. I won't even call them loyal, just absurd, embarrassing fans. And that's what happened, right? But I want to ask you something about the penalties, for example, right? There were a lot of leaders in the pitch who had played the 120 minutes for England. And we noticed Southgate, obviously the defensive manager, got in Rashford and Sancho literally at the last second of the game, of the 120th minute.
Yeah.
Do you think he should have allowed or asked other players who played the full 120 minutes to be those first top 5 penalty takers?
Well, I understand why he wanted Rashford and Sancho to be there on the penalty. See, I don't know what was happening behind the scenes. I'm pretty sure these guys must have gone through this during their preparations for the game. They would have expected penalties to happen. They would have had their top 5 penalty takers. So in that top 5, Rashford and Sancho would have been there. And Rashford is a great penalty taker. He's a very good penalty taker for Manchester United. But what I couldn't understand is why you bring them in the last minute. I mean, you could have brought them at least 5-6 minutes. Give them at least some feel of the game. 6-7 minutes. Let them run. Let them have some feel of the game and then get into the penalties. You get someone just for the penalties that puts so much pressure on them. And eventually that showed. Poor on them. I mean, I really feel sorry for all those 3 who miss their penalties. But see, that's where trophies are won and lost. That's the margins that we are talking about. And since you brought the oldest defense in the tournament, we saw how experience matters in big games. Pace is really overrated for defenders, I'm telling you.
I agree.
Chiellini and Bonucci had zero pace, but man, they were absolutely imperial. Bonucci, understandably, deservingly won the star of the game. There was this period where Bonucci was simply backheading balls to Donnarumma without even looking at Donnarumma where he is. As if like he knew where he is going to stand and where he is going to send the ball. He was so cool, so calm. Chiellini, he was brilliant, but whenever things didn't go his way, he was ready to play that dirty game. He literally pulled Saka. Like, you're not going anywhere. Like, he literally.
Rock bottom, dude. Rock bottom. But no, I think those two are just a great, like one of the great storylines of this tournament. I think all of us, and you're completely right. We talk about, when we are talking about valuations of defenders, the first adjective we use is a pacey defender. And I think that is so overrated because you see these two guys who are literally born and bred in the old Italian style of football. They adapted to this, flamboyant pass attack kind of Italian, and they literally didn't look out of place. In fact, they, I think, looked even better. And that is the magnitude of what they are worth to that country, as well as they're the true defenders. Those are the definition of defenders. And Chiellini is turning 37.
My God.
And he's played 120 minutes, and he was literally in the England half in the last 5 minutes of the 120 dictating attack.
Exactly.
And that's what made the difference. And obviously, let's not forget, big special mention to Donnarumma.
Yeah.
Player of the tournament, rightly won, but wow, at 22, the composure he has, it's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Amazing. Great. I mean, understandably, again, he won the player of the tournament. I was a little surprised first, but then I was right in the middle. Like, I really couldn't come up with an argument to not give him the player of the tournament. See, 2 penalties back to back. No one has done it in Euros history. No team has won 2 back-to-back penalties ever. Italy is the first team to have done it. So, excellent goalkeeping. He was brilliant, especially doing the penalties, just the right ways, and saved 2 penalties. So he was great. And credit to the entire Italian team, like starting, except I believe Immobile, everyone else played their part. Even Emerson Palmieri, like he came, he replaced Spinazzola, who was pretty much the star of the tournament for Italy. But they didn't miss Spinazzola there. I mean, yes, they did miss Spinazzola from the attacking sense, but Emerson was really good. And their midfield.
And this is Emerson, to add to this, Bala, what you're saying, this is Emerson who's barely had a minute for Chelsea.
Yeah.
He's barely had any match time.
Yeah.
And he came in literally the knockout stages and made a difference. And that's what Mancini has done to the Italian team, made them this unit, which we're used to talking about the Italian teams as as being a unit when they're in the glory days, and this is a different version of that, but they're still a unit. But one interesting fact: every team that went to take the penalty first won the penalty shootout this Euros.
Yes,
it's an interesting thing I saw on Twitter. But again, a big shout out to England as well, man. They played so well throughout this tournament. Heartbreak. I felt really gutted for them, not the fans.
Yeah.
Because they've had such a great tournament, such great players. But I feel Southgate missed something. Missed a calling there at the end where he could have made, some changes which Italy would have not planned for and made a difference.
So, you kind of naturally went into the next set of topics that I want to talk about, the managers. Good that you went into Southgate. Like, I see a bit of a resemblance of Ole in Southgate. Like, both are really,
oh dear God,
both are really great managers, but both lack that tactical edge. I thought they were totally outcoached by Mancini and his team. And Mancini, what a comeback. Like, he had a horrible time doing this last season with Manchester City. There was a lot of controversies. He had a lot of fight with a lot of players. The Manchester City PR team had a horrible time with him. But he went out. He coached Inter for a while, and then again he got fired from that also. But then he said in an interview that he went back and he changed his perspective, the way he handled players, and he came back as this new person, took over this Italian team who, just to remind our listeners, they didn't qualify for the 2018 World Cup. That was a national disaster. Like, you're talking about a country where football is a religion, and if you don't qualify for the World Cup, that's a disaster. From there to this amazing turnaround, 34 games unbeaten. I thought that is one place where England lacked a bit of edge. That is to find ways to win game. They had only one or two plan. If that plan worked, it's good. But if it doesn't, they didn't have any other plan to do. Yeah, it was a little sad to see the English players not winning it. Again, these are all a part of your experience. They're all fairly young. Pretty much everyone's less than 30 except Kyle Walker. And they have a good manager, yes, albeit he's not very good in a tactical sense, but he will only improve. But yeah, they will have to take this as a learning experience and move on and come back in the 2022 World Cup and do good. So, yeah, well done, England. Any other
Did you see, just before we end this, did you see that story of this Italian guy bet on Italy to win, but by mistake he bet on them to win the World Cup and not the Euros?
I didn't see that. Oh.
So he basically has to wait for the next World Cup coming up where he's put his money.
Oh, sad. Oh, great. Anyways, congratulations, Italy. Thoroughly well-deserved winners. They started this tournament with an impressive 3-0 win against Turkey, and they ended this tournament by lifting the trophy. So, well done, Italy. Well done, England. You guys were really good. And just before closing this topic once for all, a great shout out to all the organizers, whosoever put together this great tournament. Yes, there was a lot of controversies that it happened across 11 cities. Good that Seferin came out and said that this is not going to happen again. It was a nightmare for a lot of players, especially few players. It was very unfair for them, few countries players. They had to travel a lot. So hopefully this doesn't happen again. And a great shout out to all the players, especially after a season, the kind of season they had. Such a short season where all those games were cramped in with no crowd pretty much for the entire part of the season. To come back and give such a great tournament. I mean, international tournaments are known to be boring, but this one was nowhere near boring. This was brilliant.
It is by far one of the best.
Yeah.
One of the best that has ever happened in international.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to round off the awards, Donnarumma won the Player of the Tournament, Cristiano Ronaldo won the Golden Boot, and Pedri won the Young Player of the Tournament. So that's about it. Now, moving on to the most important victory, that is Argentina finally lifting an international trophy.
Oh,
Messi.
Look at the smile on the bloody fool's face. Huh?
After losing their last 4 finals, like 3 Copa America finals and 1 World Cup finals, they finally did it. And that too against Brazil, their arch rivals at Maracana. Brazil has never lost. I mean, they only lost 2 games at Maracana, including the one they lost to Argentina on Sunday. The last game they lost at Maracana was back in 1950 World Cup final against Uruguay. So, great. I watched the whole game. I got up at 5:30 in the morning. Game was boring. Like, really boring.
That was the sad part, because I saw the highlights. You normally, don't expect a Argentina Brazil game to be boring, even in terms of drama. There was no controversy. It was just dry. But Angel Di Maria, Mr. Final himself.
Yeah.
What a goal he scored! Great goal. Brazil, I don't know. I was surprised. They were pretty toothless in the second half. Not too many chances, but however much I hate saying this, Messi deserved the shit out of this. Like, it would have been a crying shame if he ended his international or even a professional career without an international trophy for Argentina. And luckily, it happened. Before he retired, and thoroughly deserved. Amazing, amazing. Congratulations to him.
Yeah, but he had a horrible game. He froze in front of the goal. Like he had his moment. He could have scored the second goal and sealed it. He froze. He missed an easy chance. I was literally jumping out of the couch and I was shouting like, "What the hell are you doing?" But on the other hand, Neymar had a great game. And just a word on Neymar to all those who just saw him in the 2018 World Cup and branded him as a diver, branded him as someone who just falls down when someone touches him. Just watch this game. Everyone were playing football and Neymar was playing WWE. He was getting kicked left, right, and center, but he kept at it. He kept running. He kept running. I felt really bad for him, but anyway, he has age on his side. He'll probably get to win one more with Brazil. Great win, Argentina finally winning that. And
But tell me, Bala, before we end this topic,
yeah,
why does the Copa America have a third place game and not the Euros?
I don't know. Copa America, I've had this for a while. It's the independent federation's decision. I don't know why, but they have it. Euros, I think they had it. I don't think Euros ever had it. I'm not sure. I need to check the data stats for that. But yeah, Euros have never had a bronze medal game, and Copa America kind of.
So Spain versus Denmark would have been a great game.
Yeah, it would have been a great game. I agree. But yeah, I don't think UEFA follows FIFA's format in this. And
Yeah.
just a shout
Yeah.
out to the other players who actually did really well for Argentina. We have been talking about this one guy, Rodrigo de Paul. What a game he had. Oh, he was excellent. Angel Di Maria, we spoke about it. And the fact that he missed all the four finals for Argentina, the last four finals for Argentina, he played this one. A lot of people wrote him off, but as Ishan pointed out, came good at when it matters. Rodrigo de Paul, amazing game. Emiliano Martinez, all came good. Otamendi, I never expected him to defend this well. He put his body in his line.
I don't think he expected it also.
Yeah, pretty good. Brazil, on the other hand, other than Neymar, I don't remember any other player having a very good game. I mean, they all had decent game, but yeah, none of them were really impressive. So they kind of failed to
Yeah.
capitalize on the talent they have. But
I'm definitely seeing Emiliano Martinez's price value going up.
yeah, what a last 1.5 years he has had. From being
Yeah.
Arsenal's reserve goalkeeper to being their first goalkeeper, winning the FA Cup, going to
How would Arsenal be feeling right now?
Yeah, that was a very poor decision. I mean, if you want to talk about Arsenal's poor recruitment decisions, we'll have to have one entire season for it.
Yeah, that's true.
Great. Anyways, congratulations, Argentina. Congratulations to Brazil. That was a great tournament. I mean, not in terms of football, but yeah, at least I felt happy by the end of it. Well, talking about greats of the game, trying to settle the GOAT debates, Djokovic won his 20th Grand Slam, equaling Rafael Nadal and Roger Federer's tally of 20 Grand Slams by defeating Berrettini in 4 sets. His 6th Wimbledon title, even after losing the first set, I was never in doubt.
Djokovic will be the greatest of all time that nobody ever talks about. Because everyone has been, and rightly so, besotted with the magnificence of Federer's, style and the tenacity Rafael Nadal shows on the court. It's almost all of Djokovic's achievements have gone unnoticed. He's almost like a machine. And you said this when we first were talking about Wimbledon. He's in that mode where, nothing, hurricanes, cyclones, to like a Federer and Nadal against Djokovic alone, nothing can beat him. He's in that kind of mode. And it was surprised. Berrettini played really well in the first set. He was down. Everyone thought it was going to be a walkover. He fought back, won it in a tiebreak. And then Djokovic, he's just too mentally strong, man. He's just like nothing affects him. And he just did the basic things right. And that's what he does so well, better than anyone else in the world. So he
Yeah.
doesn't rely on spectacular moments. He just does the basic things right very consistently. And
Yeah.
he's definitely going to overtake those two because I don't think Federer has any gas left in the tank to win one more Grand Slam unless it's a Nations League equivalent knockout tournament. But and yeah, so amazing performance by Djokovic. Congratulations. But let's talk about Bala. I want you to talk about the women's finals because that's a story in one
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah. Ashley Barty, the Australian, she won the women's singles title in Wimbledon by defeating Karolina Pliskova. It was a three-setter. And Ashley Barty, just a quick trivia for all the trivia buffs, she played for Brisbane Heats, the cricket team, the T20 cricket team in the 2016 Big Bash season. She apparently took a break from tennis and played that game and came back and won Wimbledon. I mean, how impressive it is. Wow. Just wow.
And that's a story, right? That is a story, and that I think, fortunately or unfortunately, is now only possible in women's tennis because every year it seems there is a new Grand Slam winner,
Yeah.
and then we get excited about that winner, and then we never see that person win again.
Yeah.
But at least Ashley Barty had a great story behind, two sports that's not easy to do. I think, हम लोग in India we think, oh, we are a district level tennis player, district level cricket player, but like these guys are playing for like Big Bash and then winning Wimbledon. That's like another level. You're
Yeah.
talking, it's another conversation only.
That too in Australia. I mean, Australian cricket is not Malaysian or Hong Kong cricket. It's Australian cricket. Like, that's a pinnacle of
Yeah.
cricket. And you play there and to come back and win a Wimbledon tennis singles title. I mean, that takes a lot of skills. Absolutely impressed. The other instance where I remember a cricketer who was also a tennis player was Asif Karim. I don't know whether you remember.
Yes.
He was Kenya's captain. So he was also a part of Kenya's Davis Cup team. So
I don't know how they were one of the greatest Davis Cup teams ever.
I
The
don't
Kenyan
know.
Davis Cup.
But again, the point is being professional in two different sports. That's impressive. So
Yeah.
pretty good. Again, Djokovic. I don't think he's going to stop now. He'll probably win another 3-4 Grand Slams
Yeah,
easily.
yeah. He also has age on his side.
Yeah, he should be at least two. I mean, he's way younger than Federer, and I think 1 or 2 year younger to Nadal.
Yeah,
And just
Nadal.
a word on semis, he defeated Shapovalov. I mean, I thought Shapovalov was very impressive. I want to see more of Shapovalov.
Yeah.
And you could see Djokovic, he knows his body, he knows his strengths, and more importantly, he knows his weakness. As you said, he doesn't do anything extraordinary. He just does the basics right and let the opponent implode. And that's what he did in the semifinals also. Congratulations, Djokovic.
And
Yeah.
And just to end the Wimbledon conversation, congratulations to Samir Banerjee, who every Indian is very proud of, forgetting the fact that he's never come to India and he's not an Indian. But because of the name, today's Twitter feed was congratulations, you made the country proud. But anyway, I saw him play. I saw the highlights of his game. He's definitely a talented American tennis player who will make America proud. But amazing, great talent. I'm just happy he has a Banerjee as a surname. It connects with my Bengali roots. So congratulations to him as well.
Great. Just one quick word. Djokovic has a chance to do his Golden Slam. Feat that has never been achieved in men's tennis. A Golden Slam is basically winning all 4 Grand Slams in a year and the Olympics gold medal. It has been done only once ever in the history of tennis, both men and women put together. It was Steffi Graf. I think she did it in 92 or 96. I don't remember when, but she's the only one who has done it.
Wow.
Great. Now, talking about women doing really well in sports, we have our Indian women. They made a stunning comeback against the England women's team to win the second T20 after losing the first one, unfortunately, by Duckworth lose method. Yes, they didn't play well. They lost it. But the second one, they were brilliant. In fact, India batted first. They scored 148. Shefali Verma, no surprise, scored 48, and Harman scored about 30 runs. England were cruising. They were 106 for 2. They were on course to win the game, but then 2 balls they lost 2 wickets. One was an LBW decision, which was an umpire's call, fell in our way, and the second one was a very scrappy run out on the non-strikers end. And after that, India bowled really well. And talking about fielding, the fielding has been
भाई
absolutely
अब
brilliant.
माता आ गई
Especially yeah.
we've got Jonty Rhodes ka Atma in the women's team suddenly, because it is literally, I've never seen our women's team, Indian women's team, feel like this. It's a different level. This is, I think, that switch which the Indian men's team took about 7 years ago, when they suddenly, from a very subpar average fielding team, they just went into world class level. I think the Indian women's team is going through that transition where, meaning, if people who've not seen that catch at the boundary, oh my goodness, what a catch, what a presence of mind. And there was another catch by, I think, Mandana, right? Mandana also took a really Harman.
No, Harman.
Harman took us another very good catch. So great going. So happy to see our team do so well.
Yeah, and there was a brilliant run out also. So again, overall our fielding has been spectacular, and there's the decider, the third game. Hopefully we win that and clinch the series 2-1. So all the best, Indian women's team. So win it and bring it home.
Oh dear God.
Did you say Bonucci?
Guys, this is when Bala does not know how to end a topic. He will go back to a catchphrase made by a losing team or a losing nation and then try to make it popular.
Did you see Bonucci shouting at the camera, "It's coming home, it's coming to Rome"?
It's coming Rome. Meaning, I forgive the bad English, but that sounded really good at that moment.
Oh God, Bonucci is never short of shithousery. You can always expect that from him.
Yeah.
Great. Now, in Speed Point, there isn't much to discuss. I mean, all the major topics that happened over the weekend, we covered all of it. But a quick word on the NBA Finals. At the end of 3 games, Suns lead 2-1.
Bala, I feel my heart is flickering. Bala just spoke of the NBA.
The new Bala.
Do you want to take it over this conversation, or you want to hand it over to me? Because
please. Please. I just wanted to give the score update. I don't know much about the players. I don't even know who's the favorites. Is the Suns or the Bucks? I don't know. And I know one trivia that Bucks, they are playing the finals after a very long time. So at that level of trivias I know, but I don't know much about what's happening in the game and who is scoring.
Okay, stop talking, Bala. Stop talking. So the NBA Finals is going on with a surprise Western Conference entrance, Phoenix Suns, who've never won the NBA championship, and they were not looking likely to even clinch playoff berth this year. But they have one of the greatest point guards in the game, Chris Paul, who is literally in the twilight of his career. He joined them on literally a free veteran transfer and has taken them all the way to the NBA Finals, and they're playing against the Milwaukee Bucks, who are literally run by a Greek freak, and that is actually his official nickname, Giannis Antetokounmpo. It's a correct pronunciation. He is a 7'1" machine. If for those who know a bit about basketball, think about LeBron James with the height and strength of Shaquille O'Neal. So that's what he brings to the table. He was injured for the first game, and so the Suns took the first 2 games actually, and then the Bucks have got one back. So it's a 7-game series. It's going down to the wire. Early morning games, guys, but this is going to be interesting because it's first time after many years. Like, I think about 60, 70 years ago was the last time the Milwaukee Bucks won it. But we've not seen LeBron James in an NBA Finals for the first time in about 12 years. So it's going to be a new champion. If you guys are lovers of basketball, just watch it for the storyline that are going to be made each and every game.
Great. I don't have any other Speed Point stories to convey.
Farah, do you want to talk about the baseball All-Star weekend?
I have no news except for that one non-sporting news that
Yeah.
came out, so I have no idea about that. So if you have something, please go ahead and
No, we'll
continue.
do. No, it's fine. We'll have a baseball related podcast later. But yeah, any transfer?
No, I mean, no footballing transfers have happened so far, but we will expect all of them, all those transfers, everything to start probably in a day or two, because all the international football is over. So you will see all those transfers going through, and also see footballs. I mean, the season is over. The next season is going to start in another 3-4 weeks. Pre-seasons for many of the clubs have already started, so that's going on. So hopefully we'll cover more non-football
Yeah.
topics in our next episode. So there is cricket coming on, India, Sri Lanka. I mean, I would want to watch it only for Rahul Dravid and for no one else. And Olympics is going to start on 23rd, I believe, 23rd July. So we'll probably cover.
It's going to be a closed
Yeah,
event
it's going to-
because of all the COVID thing. It's a closed event.
Yeah, it's a closed event, so hopefully we'll cover some of Olympics, and we'll probably track how India is doing in the Olympics. And other than that, we'll probably cover NBA also and other sports that's happening around the world.
There's NBA, there's Formula One, so a lot of sports happening. I think what we'll also try to do as hosts is also for get you excited about sports that you may not be able to, may not be interested right now, but try to pique your interest in them because hey, like us, both Bala and I are suffering from withdrawal symptoms because suddenly we got up this morning and there was literally no sporting event to watch. So I think you guys might be feeling the same. So might as well learn about new sports.
Great. That's a great end to a great episode and a great end to a great season of football. So, hoping to meet you guys again next week. Until then, it is bye from Bala.
Bye, guys. See you next week. Take care.
Thank you everyone for listening. If you enjoyed what you heard, please make sure you hit the subscribe button, and also please, like we are literally begging, to rate our podcast on whichever app you are listening to. It not only helps us, but also new listeners to easily find our podcast. You can also reach out to us on Twitter @SportsCharcha. A big shout out to the Jam Room Audio for our theme music. You can follow the Jam Room on Facebook @the Jam Room Audio. Bye.